Yo, what up guys, and welcome back to Patched.
Welcome back.
Yes.
So we're going to be doing a new segment called Patched In, where we're going to be talking about sort of like tech-related news, leaks, stuff like that. This one isn't exactly a leak, it was actually released that the iPhone SE, or the iPhone 9, as we were calling it, is actually going to be released on Friday the 24th.
$400 guys.
$400.
Insane.
That's wild.
First time Apple has done something like this, put a budget product out into the line, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I mean it's weird calling $400 a budget, like a budget phone, but seeing Apple release a new product, a new phone for $400 is just unheard of. Like, that's ridiculous. And so it's going to come in 3 different variations as far as color and storage goes. So it starts at 64 gigabytes, goes up to 128 for $50 more at $450, and then for $100 more you get 256 gigabytes of storage. Which I feel like 128 is sort of the sweet spot for a lot of people. That would be the one that I would get. And then the 3 colors are going to be your black, your white, and your product red.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and apparently the form factor is pretty much the same as the iPhone 8. So if you had a case for the iPhone 8, it will definitely fit the new iPhone SE. Or are we going to call it the SE2? They're not calling it SE.
So they're just calling it SE, but it's SE second generation in parentheses. So if you're reading it on like websites, like Amazon or such, it's going to specify second generation.
Yes, and if you look at the back of the phone, the only way you're going to tell the difference between the iPhone 8 and the iPhone SE is that the Apple logo is now centered on the back of the phone. So that's literally the only way you'll tell.
So if you and your buddies have an SE, and an iPhone 8, and you both happen to not have cases on them, you'll be able to tell the difference.
Exactly. So I feel like this is a great move for Apple because Android has just been dominating the budget phone market. You know, like there's $400, $500, $600 phones, especially not only in the US, but like other parts of the world like Asia or maybe even India. If they bring down the price of their phone, even though $400 is still not the cheapest, it'll definitely help them get a foot into that, that type of market.
I mean, like the XR at the time of making this video is still like $500-$600.
Yeah.
And you're about to get the same processor. So they upgraded the processor to an A13 chip, which is the same as in this Pro Max.
Yes.
Which is insane. From what we can tell from the text specifications, there's no difference from the processor that's going to be in the SE second generation and the Pro Max.
That is insane. So $400, you're getting the same exact processor that I paid like $1,200 for this phone.
Yeah, and
that's
then
crazy.
You get back that Touch ID button right there with that haptic touch on there. There's no Force Touch or anything like that. Definitely no headphone jack. That didn't make a return. So what's interesting I found as well is that it's going to allow for fast charging up to 18 watts, as do all of the new phones. But unlike the Pro Max, it's not actually going to come with an 18-watt charger. It's going to come with a 5-watt one. But if you plug it into if you want to purchase your own and the cable, it's going to end up being like $50-$60. But hey, you can charge 50% in 30 minutes. So.
Wow. So obviously they are making some like cutbacks with the phone. They're basically using the same hardware for the camera as in the iPhone 8. I mean, the iPhone 8 was a pretty good camera, but it is kind of outdated,
Yeah, so you've got a 12 megapixel rear camera and a 7 megapixel front camera. So, I mean, they're kind of recycling it there, which I actually don't mind. I'm one of those guys where when everyone tries to sell me on how great a phone's camera is, I don't really care. I don't take a whole lot of pictures.
I feel like there's a lot of people like that, Like, if you see a lot of the reviewers on YouTube, they're always like, the phone has such a great camera. But like, a lot of people I know don't really take a lot of pictures. As long as it's pretty good quality, like Snapchat or Instagram, I don't think people care too much. Yeah,
so I'm fine with them recycling that to save costs. That's perfectly fine. I mean, $400, I feel like they're really maximizing on everything that matters to a lot of consumers. So they're using a 4.7-inch display on the iPhone SE second generation. It's also going to be a Retina display. Now, they didn't include the term liquid retina as they did in the 10R or the XR. So we'll see how that compares actually visually when we get the phone. Spoiler alert.
Yeah, to be honest, like as long as it's Retina display, I don't really care. Because Apple coined the term Retina displays, meaning that you can't see the individual pixels with your naked eye. So as long as it has, that Retina display, I don't really care too much for the pixels per inch or the PPI.
And the thing is, when people bash on like Apple's screens or displays, the thing that I find funny is I'm a Samsung guy. I've used Android all my life. The only phones I've ever had have been Android. And I look at Apple phone screens and they look great to me. Like they look phenomenal. Yes. I don't see like a huge difference. And the thing between like AMOLED or OLED display versus the Retina display, I'm gonna see whether or not it makes a difference to me personally. I know there's the aspect of the higher contrast ratio and everything like that. But honestly, I don't consume a whole lot of media on my phone, so we'll see.
But anyways, I mean, I feel like Apple, if the phone is good, they're gonna hit out of the ballpark.
Absolutely. For $400, $450, and then $550 at those price points for the different models of this phone, I think it's going to do extremely well.
But anyways, those are just our thoughts on the iPhone SE. Tell us your thoughts on the new phone down in the comment section below. But that's it. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.
See you in the next one.